Here's how you know a relationship is a good relationship for you. It makes you feel better about yourself, not worse. It makes you feel more loved. So if you are not getting those things, it's a relationship you can't be in.
Here is today's case.
Chelon and Marcus met on Tinder 3 years ago. Chelon thought her relationship was pretty solid until she caught Marcus in bed with another woman. Chelon says she is the ruler of the roost and Marcus must abide by her rules and demands. Chelon and Marcus's problems have landed them here in divorce court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Williams versus Jones.
Thank you, Juan. Chelon Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Marcus Jones
Yes, ma'am.
to court today. The two of you have been together for 3 years, but you're having a lot of problems
Yes, Your Honor.
in your relationship, and you want to see if you can resolve them here in divorce court, or you may have to go your separate ways?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll start with you, Miss Williams. Why don't you give me some background?
I do love him, but I had to put some rules in place, and I feel like I have to keep him on a leash. I am controlling, but I do that because there have been situations where I've caught him being unfaithful. He has not been being truthful.
Let me give Mr. Jones an opportunity to respond. Do you understand why you're here today?
I mean, yeah.
Has she told you why you're here today?
I
I
feel
mean,
like
it's bits and pieces, but I mean, to be honest, it really ain't nothing for me to be just sitting here saying that I've done this, and if you actually don't even have any proof. And when I'm saying that, you know, because I'm the type of person, if you're gonna say something about me, at least, you know what I'm saying, make sure
Your
it's
Honor.
accurate.
Ma'am, I need to, listen, Miss Williams.
Sorry.
Let me explain something to you. I know you said you're controlling in your relationship, but you don't control this courtroom.
true.
So,
to my
when he
world.
speaks, do not interrupt him. Mr. Jones, give me some background on your relationship, sir.
I mean, basically, we met 3 years ago off, a dating site. And from that point on, I mean, we hit it off right then and there. Like, we couldn't stay away from each other at that time. So, I mean, there was nothing wrong with that. I did just before then get out of a relationship. So it was kind of hard for me still in the beginning. I was just saying, like, hey, I'm going through this, but I still need you to understand, like, I still want to be with you. I still want to talk to you.
So you say you've made some mistakes, but she doesn't really have the sufficient evidence to
Right.
prove these mistakes.
Right. I mean, even if still that, it was all still for a reason of why.
You
know what
had
I'm
a
saying?
reason.
It occurred in the way she thinks it was.
What happened? Because you said that you caught him red-handed.
Yes, ma'am. It was like in the summertime. He went to his home to get some clothes. So long story short, he had some family members that they were all roommates, and they had a friend come in town from where he's from. And it was this girl. I don't really care for her. They used to text. And I came across some messages where it was like, if he wouldn't have been with
We weren't
me,
even
it
together
could
at
have
that
been
time.
her. I felt like they were not talking to each other through these messages as if they were friends. It was like a little bit too much. What you doing? Beautiful, and good morning. You don't be saying no good morning every day to people unless you're trying to, whatever. You don't go the extra mile if that's just your friend, And she was just sending pictures. I'm not with that, So then he asked me, do you want to come over to my house? This girl is there, and, she was company of his roommate.
somebody else.
And I instantly got upset because I do not want to be around this person. We went back and forth for a bit, and at the end of it all, he told me, because I took the phone back. He was on my phone plan, and I took it back, and he told me that if I brought his belongings from my home back to his home, he will give me the password back to the phone. I went back to his house at 6 o'clock in the morning to take him his stuff. So when I did that,
It came unannounced.
it doesn't matter. He knew I was coming. So I walked in. His cousins were sleeping on the couch in the living room, and then I walk in his room, and they all laid up. So I gave my stuff to my brothers, and I proceeded to go ahead and attack the both of them.
You attacked them.
And
Yeah.
did, Your Honor.
Literally.
How long have the two of you been dating at this point?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half into the relationship. You walk in and you see him in his bed with someone else, another woman.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say you physically attacked them.
The both of them, Your Honor.
And what happened next?
Well, I did what I had to do. And I basically said, if anybody touched me, I and my
Throwing
brother,
stuff. That's what you did.
nobody better not touch me. So nobody did. And I went to work.
So after you witness your boyfriend in bed with somebody else, the visual of that alone, you said you did what you had to do. We don't condone physical violence in this courtroom. Why not walk away from the relationship then?
I did. We did break up for a while.
What's a while?
I don't know, like 2 months. We broke up for like 2 months.
And what happened? Why did you take him back after that?
Because I wanted to. It was basically a mutual agreement.
Guilty.
But if we were gonna get back together, I had rules
Guilty.
that he needed to follow. I made a list.
Rules that he had to follow.
Yes, rules for being with the baddie. If he wanted to be back with me after that, this is what he needs to do. So the first thing is no talking to any other woman, period, outside of business. I must know about all contact with the opposite sex, no back talk. He cannot tell me no, okay? Date nights every Friday and Saturday on him. Buy me a new outfit for these date nights. Must be together unless we're working. Must ask permission to do anything. Because he's sneaky, Your Honor.
And so, Mr. Jones, you got caught, sir, right?
I didn't get caught with doing anything, if that's what we're gonna say. I mean, if
okay, Mr.
anything you got
Jones,
caught doing,
Mr. Jones, listen, we're not gonna play that game today.
I'm not playing anything.
I didn't ask you if you got caught in the act. I did not ask you that question. She walked in, you were in bed with somebody else. Am I right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're not denying that you cheated. Am I right?
No, ma'am.
So it happened. But somehow you managed to finagle your way back into this relationship.
2
months later.
2 months later, I mean, we still talk, but I wanted to just talk as friends to see if she's changed. Like.
So why did you agree to these rules?
No, I didn't agree to them right away, Judge. No, I didn't.
Not right away, but eventually. Why did you want to see if she had changed after you got caught in bed with somebody else?
Oh, because I made my own rules and I did my own stuff. And then...
What does she need? Why does she need to change?
Because, Judge, like, don't nobody have time to be waking up with somebody having an attitude every morning just because they not going right. We can't do that, at least
So she comes back with a list of rules. Does that look like change to you?
She came with the 10 Commandments, Judge. That's what I call them on the low. She came
and
with the 10
happened?
Commandments.
Did you agree to the rules?
At a time, I thought about them, but I really didn't even care for them. But, I mean, I just say, you know what, I just put my pride to the side. And since I actually love her, I'll do a few nice things that are on that list to actually show her that I want to. But other than that, I don't know.
I work 7 days a week, so I don't have time to come home and he don't have things done the way that things need to be done. This is his to-do list.
This is another list?
Yes, ma'am. When you lie and you're not honest, and then when you cannot get simple tasks done, this is what happens.
What are the problems you say you're now having in the relationship after the two of you reconciled a year and a half ago?
Just basically just trying to figure out time. I mean, because she wants me to go to work with her.
What do you mean go to work with her?
She works at, like, you know, she cleans up and, you know, she does her job and stuff. So, you know, a lot of times where it'll be, I want to go just because I can go out and go do something for the day or just to try to get out of the house for a bit because I do get bored in the house sometimes.
Why does he have to go to work with you?
Your Honor, he is not being truthful. Okay, I wanted to, like, just go off, but I have to be respectful to your courtroom because he's sitting here saying all this stuff, and it's just mind-blowing because I don't understand it. He don't gotta come to work with me.
You don't require him to go to work with you?
No, I don't.
After seeing that list, you have a lot of requirements, I would not be surprised.
I work 7 days a week, all right? And I work more than 8 hours in a day. So I don't have time to come home and he don't have things done the way that things need to be done. This is his to-do list.
This is another list?
Yes, ma'am. I have to keep him busy.
You see what I'm with, Judge?
Because if he's not busy...
You see what I'm with, Judge? You see what I'm with?
First of all, when you lie and you're not honest, this is what happens. And then when you're left alone by yourself and you cannot get simple tasks done without me having a list. So the first one is he needs to wake me up for work. You wanna know why? He stays up all night. And you know how many times
So he needs to wake you up.
He needs to wake me up for work.
When I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
He needs to wake you up so you don't use an alarm clock.
I do, but sometimes I sleep past it. I work from 8 to 4:30, and then I go back to work anywhere between 7 and I get off at 1 o'clock in the morning.
You want him to be out of the way so you can get ready after he wakes you up for work. Just generally be out of the way.
Yeah, just like go back to doing your own thing. If you can be up playing the game, up on the phone, up listening to music, and then you know that it takes me 45 minutes to get to work.
Oh, but if I'm
why
doing
would you let me oversleep?
If I'm doing all that shit,
I need both of you to stop talking. You want him to prepare lunch and dinner, rub your back and your feet,
Yep.
clean your car and wash,
Yep.
keep the car maintenance up,
As a man should.
put together anything I order online, and don't have an attitude while you're doing all this.
Exactly. That's
Mr.
what a
Jones,
man does.
Mr. Jones, you might have been better off staying in that bed you were in that day, sir.
Judge,
real, 'cause she ain't
Judge,
fired nothing.
I don't even want to say that, Judge, because...
Why do you accept? Because, you know, everybody makes mistakes. You made a colossal one, and sometimes you have to pay the price. But how much are you willing to pay?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt like in the beginning I did do wrong in their part. So I mean, at the time I did, contact, I wanted to take on their responsibility of trying to.
Sir, would you
man up.
not rather be single?
I mean, I can be single. I mean, but that's still not always an option.
You're 24 years old, Mr. Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm gonna tell you something, Ms. Williams. I understand you got upset, and you took it out on him that day. I'm speaking. I understand you got upset. You took everything out on him that day. But ma'am, you are making it impossible for anyone to live and be with you. What I am trying to figure out, why you brought him here instead of him bringing you here.
I'm not being able to speak.
You have talked a lot.
You only heard one thing that he's done.
Ms.
So you
Williams,
think that he's only
step
cheated
out of my
once.
courtroom, ma'am. You gotta go out of my courtroom. You gotta go out of my courtroom. You have to leave my courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. But ma'am, you are making it impossible for anyone to live and be with you, except for Mr. Jones, apparently, because he's still there. Yeah. So, and I'm trying to figure out why.
I mean, at the end of the day...
He the one with the anger issues. I need to be figuring out why, Your Honor.
At the end of the day, Judge, what I can say is, I've always had, somebody who's always been in my corner before. And, since I met Chelon, she's always been there for me and done a lot of things for me. So, I mean, at that time, I feel like it was right. So, I mean, I'm a loyal person, so why not stick to the person you've always been loyal to?
He can be loyal.
And
because she is giving you an extraordinary amount of things to do, unlike mates, unlike a partner in a relationship, more like a child.
I mean, yeah, basically. And when I call
or
her...
even a servant. Are you a servant in your relationship?
I mean, that's what I try to tell her I feel like sometimes, but it just goes in one ear, not the other.
Well, no, no wonder you're telling her that's how you feel, because that's who you are. Mm-hmm. Now, what evidence did you submit to court, sir?
Yeah, my Superman list.
Oh, so you have a list too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the list that I have to do on top of everything she wants me to do. So once I get through with her list, I gotta go and make time for my list.
And I'm having a hard time keeping track of all the lists.
Judge, I got a file cabinet now.
And you say, Miss Williams, that Mr. Jones has an anger problem.
Yes, ma'am.
I am not surprised.
Wow.
But what is your evidence of that, ma'am?
Okay, that is a picture of the living room, and that is like a couple, like my nail stuff, the tables, there's some wigs. We were having a fight. He just threw everything on the floor.
What is this a photo of?
That is him while I'm driving. He's yelling and screaming, and he's punching the dash on the car. It's raining, he's going crazy. He's punching that. That's
Did you tell
anger
him
issues.
why I
That's
punched
my
it, though?
car that I make a payment on that is not paid for, but he don't have one. So therefore, he don't know the value of things until he has his own again, because now we're in my stuff, so my stuff don't matter.
Tell him
Why were you punching the dashboard?
Well, I mean, because she told me at the last minute, like, hey, your me up, and that he was talking about, coming up here to see me and doing all this and that. And
so
I'm like,
one of
why are you
your
just not
family
bringing
members
it up?
Contacting her, you think it was making a pass at her, flirting with her?
Yeah, that's basically what he was doing. And
that's what she's saying.
No, that's what, it was in her phone. She showed me when we were sitting in the car. That's why that happened.
Okay, and so then you start punching the dashboard.
Because I let my anger get the best of me, and she kept antagonizing me and calling me out of my name. So, I mean, I just felt the need, like, I couldn't hit you. So, I mean, I'm gonna hit you with that. You almost tried to hit me with your car anyway.
So you're thinking
so
so you say, based on the text messages, she's having inappropriate conversations with one of your family
I don't know
members?
who she's talking to, Judge, at this point.
Well, whoever it is, just show him the list. That'll run him off real quick.
Judge, I'll show him the 10 Commandments quick, and I don't even think they're still...
Are you happy in this relationship?
Honestly, at times, I really don't even feel it.
No,
I
no.
don't. I mean,
And you're not. You're not either.
No, Your Honor.
No. Because you want to keep him on a leash, a short leash, and of course he feels smothered and trapped.
Yeah.
Because this is not how
This is
you
not how I envision a
operate
relationship.
in a relationship. Here's the thing. You caught him in bed with somebody else. Granted, huge mistake. For most people, it's the end, but not for you two, because 2 months later, you're reconciled. And you know what you've been doing for the year and a half? You've been punishing him. By all of these lists, all of these rules, all of these demands, you're making him pay. But if you're going to do that and make your own self miserable, neither one of you are happy, you might as well make a fresh break and just start over with somebody who you can actually trust and someone who you don't feel like you have to keep on a leash. Do you have pets?
No.
Okay, well, no, you have one in the form of your boyfriend.
He's not a pet, Your Honor.
So that's how you treat him. That's how you treat him. By doing all of these things and micromanaging him, because you don't feel like he can ever step up to be a man, he's always going to be under your foot as if he's a child. Everything you're doing is counterproductive to what you actually want.
That's true.
So, now, what I am trying to figure out, why you brought him here instead of him bringing you here.
Because he's still doing stuff. I'm not being able to speak, so you're only hearing bits and pieces.
Oh, you have
and y'all want to make it seem like he's a
Ms.
victim.
Williams. You have talked
But no,
a lot.
you only heard one thing that he's
I've
done.
heard it.
So
Ms.
you
Williams,
think that he's only
step
cheated
out of my
once.
courtroom, ma'am. You gotta go out of my courtroom. You gotta go out of my courtroom. You have to leave my courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I've asked you many times throughout this case to stop talking. How do you do it?
Honestly.
I understand that you messed up. It was a colossal mistake. Things happen. Why do you live like this?
I mean,
I can't deal with 20 minutes of this. And you in this relationship for 3 years?
I mean,
We're about to have an intervention.
It was just, just trying to hope for a change, outside
Trying to change what?
outside of, out of all the stuff,
Sir, the only change that's about to happen when you leave this courtroom is you're gonna get another list. Look at me in my eyes. I want you to blink twice if you need help.
I don't. Yes,
You too young for this, Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of young people make mistakes, but seriously, don't let anybody treat you like this.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to pay for years of your life for an indiscretion that you had.
Yes, ma'am.
Things happen. You didn't kill anybody.
No.
You didn't commit a crime. You just messed up. It happens.
Just wanted
But
to be
find
out, that's all.
somebody, grow from it, learn from it. Go find yourself a relationship with someone that does not treat you like a child, sir. Good luck.
I am not upset. I only got to tell a part of the story, so I respect her decision. This is her courtroom. If she wanted me to leave, that's what I did.
When Judge Faith kicked Chelon out of the courtroom, I did feel kind of a little hurt because I did just want to kind of at least fix our relationship a little bit, just to see if we could keep things together. But in the end, you still never know. So you just have to go with everything how it is.
Marcus is not going nowhere. We're going back to Nashville together. That's where we go from here.
We just have to go our separate ways. We can't force anything anymore, so we just have to let it fall where it is.